Hello, it's Shmai, it's Bloody Good Run. You joined me on a Saturday afternoon. I'm going to take you on a coastal path run. So I am currently sat in the car, as if you can't tell, in Strumble Head. So there's the lighthouse of Strumble Head, and I'm going to run back towards Fishguard and Gooddick. Then I don't know if I'm going to go all the way back, or I don't know how far I want to go or anything yet. I'm definitely going to run to Caragwastad. I'll explain the story behind that as I get closer, if I can remember it properly and accurately. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoy the video, and I'll see you in the next clip. Goodbye. Yeah, so I decided to go on a coast path today, mainly because it changes it up a bit. It is like my happy place in terms of running. That's a bloody good way of getting elevation. I tend to always, if I'm running the coast path, the only data I'll have on my watch face is my heart rate. One furthest ahead is Kemma's Head. You might not be able to spot it. Then you've got Dinas, Pendinas, Pwllgwaelod, and then into Fishguard itself. And trying to film that sailing boat whilst still trying to make forward motion. I think I'm just going to end up having a big off if I keep doing that. But yeah, like I said earlier, don't know how far I'm going to go, because it is going to be an out and back. And so far this week I've done 33k. So like I said earlier, I'm definitely gonna take us to Caragwastad on this run, which is the site of the last invasion where it actually landed on British soil. Can't remember the date, admittedly. It was the French had landed, I think, thinking they were landing in, it was either Liverpool or Ireland, I can't remember. The crux of the story is they landed, they made their way to a local farmhouse where there was a wedding being held. I think there was a bit of a scuffle, if I remember. There was, well, there definitely was, because there's a bullet hole in the grandfather clock at the farm. But yeah, essentially they got blackout drunk, and then, if I remember right, not if I remember right, so most of the men of the area had been drafted, so they weren't actually able to sort of thwart. So it came to the ladies of the area, led by Jemima Nicholas, or Jemima Fawr, Big Jemima, to
So they marched to Carragwaston in traditional Welsh dress, and between the Welsh hats and the red robe or shawls, they gave him a fright where the French thought the army were here. Oh yeah, you're right.
It's like this.
Yeah, so the peace treaty was then signed in the pub called the Royal Oak in Fishguard. Suddenly become very aware that I can't actually remember which one Carragwaston is. I feel quite unfortunate if I manage to run past it without acknowledging it. So I am going to get my OS out on my phone just to make sure I don't miss it. Good news, I haven't passed Carragwaston yet. Just had a look now. It also, conveniently, I could have played this off like I knew and would have sounded just like I retained things, but conveniently said the date for the French landed as well, so it was 1797. Which is still the last time a foreign enemy or foreign country have landed on British Isles soil, or British soil actually, not British Isles. Could get into a very controversial topic there. I wouldn't say it's controversial actually, I would say it's quite sort of reasonable for countries to be their own countries when they're across a border, particularly when that border is a huge body of water, but let's not get into that. Oh well, so that's the ferry crossing from Fishguard to Rossley. Sorry, I'm going to have to concentrate where I put my feet. I think that is my favourite ever ferry crossing. So me and a few of my friends used to do it back when I was drinking. So a fun thing to do around here is to get quite drunk. Particularly when my tipple of choice when I do have a drink is Guinness. It was quite dangerous, so you'd be having a pint in a local pub and there'd be a sudden sort of, oh, that tastes quite nice. And eventually one thing leads to another and you end up on a late night / early morning crossing over to Rosslea, and it became just a heavy weekend of drinking then. Sometimes we'd go to Wexford, other times we'd go further in. Would say great memories, but remember barely any of it. Oop. Right. Concentrate, Gath. You can tell when you're close to Caragwastad because the cluster of houses up there. The farm is the one I was on about earlier with where the wedding's been held and the grandfather clock got shot. That's 5k so far. Either that or it's a message just come through. Oh well. If you can hear the seals, I'll see if I can get a better shot of them. I don't know if it's showing up clearly on the camera, but you can see some grey seals chilling out on the rocks there. I love seals. They're just cool. Also notice, in fact, I was way on the way back. That's close enough to a tree to me, so I don't want to back that on the way back. here we are at Carragwasta then. So I think the ship had moored inside this bay behind us, and then they landed on the here then, if I remember right. Or is the here, might have been here actually, that they the women in the garb sort of scared them. I got it. I thought that seal was about to dive in then. It clearly could tell I was starting to film it. Little bugger. I'm not sure if I just heard a snake in the grass then, which has obviously scared the poo out of me, because I don't like snakes. So I'm now just gonna thump my feet as much as I can in the hope that that means it will vacate my area. Not my area, that sounds weird. Right. I think I'm getting pretty close to turning round as well. Otherwise it's gonna start getting late in the day, and I'd still like to get a swim in as well today, if I can. Might go up to that gate up there, call it at that. Not call it as in turn round at that. Let's turn around there. It's like the gladiator scene, isn't it? That's the trig goes on about earlier. So we'll bag that on the way back. Hiya. Thank you.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one just the other side of Caragwasser as well. He's quite close to the side there. Sometimes I gotta be sensible and walk.